Hi, my name is Courtney and this is the Unbroken Blueprint. I just had this come to me. This wasn't a plan. I don't have a script. I didn't know what I was gonna get into today, but I had this vision and I had this concept come to me about a diving board and going to a swimming pool and it being a metaphor for life and God being a lifeguard. My vision was complete with Jesus in sunglasses and he was twirling a whistle and he's got the sunblock on his nose and I was like, why do you have sunblock on your nose? And he's because I want you to tell people to wear sunscreen. So protect your skin, everyone. So living in a life of misalignment, living in a life of performance, it feels like you came to the pool with your family and your family is in the main area. Maybe you're in the kiddie pool, but it's good. It's a pool. It's fun. It's summertime. It's enjoyable, but there's this thing over there. There's this high dive that is calling you, and you can see various stages of people or kids going up the ladder and jumping off. And there's something inside of you that's, whoa, that's amazing. What is that? I want to do that. I want to jump. And there's some people's families, meaning your family of origin, that are very encouraging. And so in the metaphor, and I'm not sure if I've made this clear or not, your dream, your dharma, your soul's calling, the thing that you've been daydreaming about doing since you were a kid, that's the high dive. And a lot of us stay scared at the bottom of the ladder. And we stay in the safe part for a long time because that's where our family has brought us to, and that's where they are, and they seem all happy with it. And they're not scared of the high dive because they don't care. They don't care about diving off the high dive because it's not their dream, right? And so some people have parents that are like, yes, you go, get on that diving board. You jump off of that diving board, you can do it. Just that environment of love and nurture and knowing that child might belly flop, but you know what? At least they jumped. And then they're gonna learn how to get better. And then there's some people that have a family that's like, no, you're not doing that. It's too dangerous, you get hurt. It's not gonna happen. And you stay in the safe part, but you are just going crazy because you're just watching people just go off that high dive and they've got joy and sometimes they're scared, but you can see the process of people getting better and you're like, wow, that person's doing it. That person's living their dream. I think a lot of us think, I'm gonna belly flop. It's gonna be so embarrassing. It's gonna be so cringe. Everyone's gonna watch me belly flop. And that prevents them from ever jumping off of the diving board. But it's that initial belly flop that must happen for you to get to the point where you can confidently walk up the ladder and dive off. But because this metaphor is trying to trigger something within you, you've experienced this and you know you've overcome that fear of diving off the high dive, hopefully. In your adulthood, you can say, yes, I did it. Or you can say, you know what? I never let myself do it. I never let myself jump. Or my parents told me it was too dangerous and they were too scared and their fear held me back from my own dream. And I don't want that for anybody. I don't want anyone to stay in a kiddie pool or in just the regular pool because even though it looks okay, it looks fine, it looks good, there's something inside of me that just wants to jump off of that freaking high dive. It's so exciting, but you're so scared. But what I'm saying is, if you didn't have that fear, it wouldn't matter to you. And God's over there in the corner, just twirling that whistle. And by the way, he looks great. And in my mind, I always think of Jesus with sunglasses, but that's just my thing. But he's like, yeah, go on, give it a go. You could do it. And he knows in your capability of getting up there, and he knows that it might take some people a lot of tries. You might have a lot of belly flops, and I can't tell you how many belly flops I've had in my life. Fallen flat on my face, stinging all over my body, thinking my life is over, I ruined it, I'm done, game over. So many times. But what I realized is that at least I was getting up there and jumping, because I can't sit anymore without getting on this ladder. And if you can get over the fear of being embarrassed and shaking things up, and maybe people that are in the safe part are gonna look at you, or maybe they're gonna get mad at you for going up there. But are you gonna let that stop you when you've got God in the corner twirling a whistle saying, go? Don't let those limiting beliefs stop you from getting up on the ladder. And then you see somebody just come out of nowhere, right? And it's like that scene in the movie where somebody just walks into a room and they walk into the pool and they walk up on that. I'm thinking of the scene in The Sandlot where the lifeguard, she's so hot and she's the epitome of the boy's dreams, and she just goes up on that diving board and she just pew. And I'm thinking of multiple movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think there's many scenes of someone just, oh yeah, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire, it's the male version. That just came to me. When Pierce Brosnan, that's another great pool scene. When Mrs. Doubtfire nails Pierce Brosnan in the head with a piece of fruit. It's so great, oh man. But when you see somebody just confidently just strut up there on that diving board and just dive off and they just nail it, and they just look so hot doing it, that's you living in your dharma, your calling, and it's like you're the one that is making people's jaw drop. That's your audience. But they've had to watch you from the very first belly flop. You have to do the work. And sometimes you have to let people watch you do the work. Sometimes people are gonna heckle you while you're doing the work. And you're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're gonna heckle me when you're sitting over here in the safe end? Okay, sure. That's why you can't let anything get to you. You can't let anybody in the safe end of the pool stop you from getting up on this diving board. Let nothing stop you, because God is sitting there. He is cool as a cucumber, just having the time of his life, watching his creations get up there, just going diving off. And if you're not nailing it, you're showing people that you don't nail it on the first try, that you have to get out there. You have to conquer your fear. You have to make yourself visible, or else you're still in the safe end and you're going to stay in there unless you can make that first jump. That's the hardest part. And you might belly flop, but who cares? Who cares? It might sting, but you're like, okay. And then you talk to the lifeguard. You're like, okay, God, I see what you mean. I didn't do that right. That wasn't how it's supposed to look. Let me try again. And he says, yes, of course you can. Get up on there. Sometimes you have to go to the pool a lot of times before you can even get to the stairs of the ladder of the high dive. There's a lot of work for people. There was a lot of work for me just to even get out of the situation where I could have access to the high dive. I had to be able to break away from things that were keeping me in a quote unquote safe place. It was the least safe place I could be because God's sitting over there giving me a green light. And so I stayed way too long in things that weren't meant for me because I wasn't heeding the green lights from God. I was heeding the red lights from people. And now my metaphors are going all over now, so we've got a streetlight metaphor now going on. But stay with me. Get whatever's blocking you from getting up onto the ladder. Understand that block has nothing to do with your ability to be able to one day get up there and dive off of your diving board and nail it and inspire so many people to get out of the safe end and live life with joy. Because with the absence of pressure, with the absence of fear, then the joy can rush in. And that's what sparks things in other people. That's what inspires. When you see someone joyfully jumping off of a high dive and you're just sitting here in a pool, it's like, yeah, this is great, but I could be doing that. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? What am I doing? And so you can be that person that's just nailing it and just inspiring so many people to do the same. And so that is my invitation for you today. Identify where you are in this metaphor, what's holding you back, and give yourself permission to, I just had the vision of the Sandlot come back to me, like that the little boy, he pretended like he was choking so that he could shoot his shot with the girl. And it just came to me, it's shoot your shot. Yeah, he did something really crazy, but he got to kiss the girl. Oh, and I think he ended up marrying her. So shoot your shot. Whatever it is in life, shoot your shot, okay? So yeah, that's the message for today. Love you. My name is Courtney, and this is the Unbroken Blueprint. Remember, go live your life like it's yours, because it is. Bye.
Amen.